rappers and producers. Producers, I don't mean that, not producers. I got a question here from White House Forever. He asks, is image and popularity more important or just putting out a lot of music? Let's discuss it. Rappers and producers, White House Forever. Let me make sure I got that right. White House Forever poses a very important question, a very common question. I don't think I've heard it put in that way, but I know exactly what you're getting at, so I'm gonna go ahead and address it. Let's first address this elephant in the room. My dumb ass got a knife and was trying to open the avocado up, thought I can go through the seed and pull it out like I'm freaking Crocodile Dundee, and then I cut my hand straight through. So hi, you're gonna see this all week, getting used to it. Anyways, back to the subject at hand. Is image and popularity more important or putting out a lot of music? Now, the easy answer is, oh, you need to have a balanced approach of both, but that's not really a practical way of approaching these things that are both hand in hand. Obviously, today in 2017, as an independent artist or rapper or singer or a band, whatever it is that you do, it is very important that your image and everything aligns with your music. Your music can only take it so far. However, when it comes to, depending on what part of the process you're in, if you're just getting started, excuse me, if you're just getting started or you're a few years in, I think that initially you need to focus on the music. Why do you focus on the music? You're not ignoring the branding, you're not ignoring the imagery. The reason I say you focus on the music is because the music is going to shape that for you. As you start to make more songs, you're going to learn new things about yourself. As you start to approach topics and subjects that you haven't talked about to any human being or even thought about in your mind for years and years, because a certain beat evokes that certain emotion, it's going to bring another layer of who you are. And as you expose these layers, you're going to start to ask different questions about yourself and the way that you represent yourself. Say, for instance, you were somebody that was a real recluse, somebody that was really, really quiet, and somebody who didn't like to be in front of people. And as you write, you realize, there have been situations where I wasn't such a recluse. That being said, it may start to shape the way that you approach how you present yourself. Maybe you don't wear dark primary colors all the time. Maybe you start to wear a few bright colors. Maybe you start to shape your hair in a different way. Maybe the fact that your music is receiving so much love, it changes who you are. It changes the dynamic of your character. So that being said, oh my God, I got something in my throat, pause. That being said, if it's changing who you are, if you focus on the imagery first and the branding first and trying to figure out what exactly it represents, I will not hit this hand. Please stop me from hitting this hand, Richie, if I get, because I will be in pain on the floor and you got to record that. Keep it going. Don't focus on imagery first and the image and the branding first, because you don't know exactly who you are in those first few years. Really what you're doing is kind of remembering and regurgitating a combination of all your influences within your music. But as you start to get more mature, as you start to get more advanced, you start to realize, this is my voice in music. Okay, now that I found my voice, what does that voice look like aesthetically if I were to give it a physical appearance? If I were to give it some clothes, if I were to give it a hair, if I were to give it glasses or no glasses, beanie or fitted cap or dad hat. Hey. CurtisKing.com. If you need to understand, if you need to, you see how that plug threw me off? I can't be that smooth, I'm sorry. Anyways, when you get in that situation, realize that your image is going to change because you're an ever-changing human being. And sometimes branding yourself as something way too early, like for a minute I was gonna be the Cougar Rapper. I just love cougars and I'm just gonna be the Cougar Rapper. But I outgrew it. I got 2 years into it. I was like, this would be silly to be rapping about this when I'm 40 and I'm a billy goat. I don't know what the man version of a cougar is, but it's like a billy goat. I'll be feeling silly about that. And the reason and that's the same exact reason, is that because you're ever changing, because you're ever evolving, I think that you should focus first on the music. Let the music take its course, start to really open up to who you are and be open to new ways of thinking, new ways of presenting yourself, and then the image will start to come together. Now, in addition to that, once you get the music to a certain point, how do you know it's ready for you to start focusing on the image? Well, I would say when you feel like you're changing as a human being and you're more confident in the human being that you are, it's okay to start actually putting those branding pieces together. Branding pieces such as your logo, branding pieces such as the type of fonts that you use. Is it going to be playful, or is it going to be serious? Is it going to be corporate, or is it going to be, like Friday the 13th killer type font? You know, is it going to be, is your color going to be very vibrant? Is your colors very dark? Is your colors, these things are going to all tie into your branding. And once you do it, you just got to make sure that you're cohesive across the board, and all of these things that you have that represent you. I mean, even to your flyers that represent your shows, those should all be cohesive with your brand. But it all starts with the music. The music is a personal journey in which you get to know yourself just that much more. Once again, it's another Curtspiration. Hey. Oh. Yeah, doodle. If you need some more of this juice, please subscribe to the channel below. Be a part of the notification gang. Or the injured gang, whatever. Thank you to all my supporters on Patreon. Patreon. Who does Patreon? It's like a RoboCop. Patreon.com. Please continue to support our efforts. Rappers, if you would like one free beat every single month from CurtisKingBeats.com, sign up as a $50 patron. Producers, if you would like to get drum kits and talk one-on-one, this is available to you as a $50 patron. Plus, there's all the rewards that you can go check out at Patreon.com /CurtisKing. Go check it out. Let's talk. And to kind of double back on the subject, it starts with the music, then comes the branding, then comes the imagery. You're naturally who you are. Your music is going to evolve who you are. So just go along with the flow. In this life, you will not be full of life until you decide to live life to its fullest. Curtis King at CurtisKingBeats.com. Oh, that hurt. I can't listen to you. When I listen to you, it's a liability. Cause you be mentally killing my inner energy. So I'm concealing my feelings before you injure me.